right, welcome kings and queens. Today we are talking Real Housewives of Orange County. Yes, honey, we are in full effect in the palace, y'all. This is a hell of a season, in my opinion. The girls have gotten off to a spectacular start when it comes to the OC, honey. Now, I want to give a lineup. Of my faves. Really, I don't have any favorites on the Real Housewives of Orange County. But let me tell you the ones I don't like. How about we start with that? Normally, you know what? No, that's wrong. Let me start with positive before negative. Great season. I think this season is lit. Now, I am only on the 4th episode, okay? But you can expect me to give my all with these reviews because the girls, I feel like they understand the assignment. Before I jump in and give a review of my roster, Heather, come here, Heather. Heather DeBurrow. Let me put you up on game. Let me tell you what's going on, baby. What happened was, the girls have probably gotten together prior to shooting this season, and they probably made a pact to come after you. Y'all, what did I tell y'all? I told you most women attack in packs like a pack of wolves. Many women are not strong enough to go toe-to-toe one-on-one. They don't have the esteem, the confidence, and most will back down when you confront them one-on-one. Now, Heather, although not my favorite, I like how she's showing up for the first 3 episodes. She's necessary. And I had to really think long and hard about it because I go back and forth. I'm like, Heather can go. But I think this is the right mix. I think they have the right mix of girls on the OC. And I want to see Heather fight back because she's given it out and she's dished it for so many years. And it's not that I want to see her get picked on. I want to see you go toe to toe with somebody your own size. And I think Heather can handle herself. I think she deserves to be in the hot seat. As a matter of fact, I think she's earned the right to be in the hot seat. Meaning, Heather, you did this to yourself. But I'm not mad at you. I need you to show up. And she has been showing up. Now, there are some nuances about Heather that I can take or leave, but Heather's just being Heather. But I believe the girls got together and they decided they were going to reel you a new one this season, Heather. And as a result, they're coming after you. They're coming after the queen of the throne. Now, let's talk about this roster. But before we do, let me welcome you to the channel. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
I've always loved the OC. Sans Tamra Barney Judge. I cannot stand Tamra. It's been that way for quite some time. I think she's a liar, a manipulator, and a deceiver, honey. And you cannot pull me off of that hill. That's where I stand when it comes to Tamra. But she's necessary. But she's annoying. But she's necessary. She's annoying. Now, I think they got the right mix of ladies this year to be able to take on a Tamra and the likes of a Heather. Right? Because a lot of these ladies ain't no punk when it comes to standing 10 toes down. And I said what the hell I said. Emily seems like she can handle her own. Shannon handled I'm going to come to Shannon. Shannon handled her own. Heather can handle her own. Jen, the new girl, can handle her own. And Tamra can handle her own. Keep it that way, Bravo. We don't need no weak links that are going to cry and be scared to go up against any of these ladies at any given time, okay? Because we know the tide could turn, the dynamics can shift, but each one of them are capable of holding their own against one or the other. I love it. All right. With that being said, I cannot stand Tamra. I think she's shady, and I think she's a very clever bully. And I feel like Tamra came out the gate swinging. She's back on her old shit, even though she swore this is a new her, and maybe I'm not going to go after the girls. But girl, you were trying to make Shannon your storyline. No, ma'am. Talk about why that gym closed down. Talk about the problems that you're having in your marriage. Talk about why your mama is living with you. And I know you said you sold her townhouse, but what next? Why does she have to stay with you after making a sell? How come she didn't take the profits to get a cute little place for herself? Why is your mom talking about her sex life with Bob the Builder? Girl, like I have so many questions, but yet you're focused on Shannon and something that happened 2 or 3 years ago. Don't play with me. Don't play in our faces. So of course Tamra comes in with this the storyline cut fitness, still on the same shady BS. She's attempting to pick on Shannon. Nothing's her fault. Y'all, what's new? What's new with Tamra, right? Nothing's ever her fault. She's shading her new friend. What's new? Tamra likes nobody but herself. Tamra is a friend to no one. But let me ask you something. Taurus, because they say Tamra's a Taurus. Is that how y'all behave, Taurus? Somebody, I need a representative for the Tauruses in the building. Y'all need to explain to me, why is it that y'all seem to be throwing your friends under the bus or appear to be two-sided? What do they call it? Two-faced. I don't mean to generalize and or stereotype, but Taurus, I need somebody to come in this chat and explain what the hell is going on. Okay? Now, back to Tamra. I feel like Tamra has a need, a pervading desire to be front and center and demands attention. I can go on and on and on and on, but why would I? Let's move on to someone else. You know what? I made a mistake. I don't like Gina on this show. I don't like Gina very much at all. She's second when it comes to the roster of my do nots, cannots, will nots. Gina's another one. I just don't feel like she's the right fit for this group of women. I feel like you've taken somebody, bravo, a have not, sorry, and you've plugged her with the haves, and you're attempting to make her into something that she's not. And as a result, she's over positioning herself. She's over acting. She's over everything. Overproducing her outfits, just everything. And typically you see that from a psychological perspective is when you don't belong. It's not a good fit. It's just something about Gina that's not as fluid and seamless to me. There's, even when the girls don't get along, right? When you have a catty group of women, to me, they're most times they all appear to be on the same level. There's just something about Gina that screams deficit to me. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like she's trying too hard. I don't like her. I think she's messy. I think she's extremely contrived. And yeah, I would like to see somebody else casted in Gina's spot. That's all I'm going to say. I'm moving on. Gina, you're not getting a lot of airtime from me. Sorry. Emily. I like Emily. I didn't like you interrogating Jen. That's none of your business. That's none of your business. That's none of your business. But I get it. You're trying to squeeze in and show up for the camera. That's not the right way. Focus on Shane. Focus on what you've been doing. Don't get caught up in the hoopla or overdoing things. Otherwise, it becomes inauthentic. And if you're not careful, Emily, you can also come across as a bully just by way of your stature. Okay, so you got to know how to position yourself in some of these conversations if you want longevity and sustainability on this show. That's my opinion. I don't think you have to do that much. I think you have enough going on in your real life, Emily, with your family, that you can stand on your own too without having to be messy with the other women. So I think if you can figure out that balance, you'll be all right. But girl, when you're off, you're off. And sometimes I be wanting to come through the screen and be like, girl, I will tag you real quick. Pop, pop. But no, other than that, Emily, you're pretty good in my book. But let's move on to... No, let me say one more thing. when I said I feel like there was a deficit with Gina, Gina gives jealous vibes. The vibe that Gina gives me is that she's always wanted to be a part of the in crowd, of the in group, with the popular girls. But now that she's in, she's going to get her lick back. I'm going to be a bitch to everybody because that's how they treated me. That's the vibe I get from Gina, a jealous spirit. Okay. Now, Jen, that's Tamra's new friend. She and Tamra have a history. They met at the gym. Tamra trained her for a fitness competition. So Jen, let me just get to the heart of it. Jen basically cheated on her husband. And let me tell you something, Jen. You may as well put it out there, girl, because they're going to find out. This is reality television. And if the people don't find out, Tamra's going to make sure she tell every dirty secret you have, because that's what Tamra does. Okay? Tamra is a snake. So, sweetheart, whatever it is that you don't want us to know, you may as well go ahead and tell us. Get it over with. Get it over with. Because, we're going to find out anyway. So basically, you did cheat on your husband. And you know what? That's not my business. I'm not in your marriage. But if you quit trying to smooth it over and make it something that it wasn't, and just say, own your shit and be like, yeah, I cheated on my husband and I got me a new man. And my husband knows why. I moved on. He's moved on. But I like Jen overall. I like Jen. I look forward to learning more about her and seeing what she brings to this franchise. So, Jen is dating this guy from the gym. And I think they live together, if I'm correct. Now, your boyfriend is doing a bit too much for me. I forgot his name, but he's doing too much. He's putting on a little bit too much for the camera. I don't like it. I don't like when men get hungry for camera time, and he's giving fame whore. He's very much giving fame whore. So you may want to check that at the door and roll that in and remind him that you are the star and it's not him. Otherwise, he's going to get you ran off the show, honey. I don't like Eddie. Eddie's a bit sassy to me because you had no business, in my opinion, talking about Shannon and her relationship with her ex-husband and how much she drinks, Eddie. Because until we get to know what you really like, sassy boy, behind the scenes, you may want to table your opinion and hold your peace, okay? Because we have a lot of thoughts about you. But I think it was very, very feminine of you and very sassy of you to be in women's business, Eddie. I really did. I think it was out of line, and I think it was very BAN. Very, very BAN behavior of you to be speaking on Shannon. And it caused me to question, Tamra, what do you miss? You keep saying, I miss my friendship, and when I needed her the most, she was not there for me. Wait a minute. Why would you need a bad person? Why would you need a selfish and self-centered person? Because according to you, Shannon's horrible. She's a drunk. So what is it that you're missing? It doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't want to talk to a drunk. I wouldn't want to talk to a bad person when I'm going through my stuff, because that is the most unreliable person. So Tamra, I think you're full of it. I said all of that. I think both you and Eddie are full of it. But y'all, did you peep Shannon's demeanor when she met Tamra out for lunch, episode 2, and they were supposed to come together to what I believe Shannon thought was going to be a healthy and a decent conversation, to which she seemed to be looking forward to. Both Tamra and Shannon. Did I say Heather? I hope I didn't say Heather. But both Shannon and Tamra were on their way to meet each other for lunch. And both of them phoned Heather Dubrow, right? And I'm with Heather. Both of them had two separately different opinions of how the relationship went, how things occurred in the past between the two of them, and also how they anticipated this lunch meeting or this lunch conversation would go. But I am so proud of Shannon, because normally Shannon can be a crybaby when it comes to Heather Dubrow and or Tamra. And honey, did y'all see that body language Shannon gave back? Shannon was on whatever Tamra was on. When Tamra took off her shades and tried to intimidate, Shannon pulled off her sunglasses. When Tamra shifted her body, Shannon shifted her body. I was like, all right, Shannon, you understand the assignment. You better show up. Y'all, can we talk? Oh, Taylor. So Taylor used to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Taylor looked like she's gone through it. And I'm not going to be too hard on Taylor, but Taylor doesn't look too good to me. Is it the plastic surgery, y'all? Taylor, no ma'am. I don't like how you coming in. I feel like you have a vendetta against Shannon initially. And then you've kind of positioned yourself up against Heather. Girl, now you know. You're like making up shit out of thin air. You and Heather Dubrow did not have to have a problem, but you made it one. And you gonna lose that battle each and every time. Heather was right regarding you inviting her to audition for a movie role that a producer has not picked up the phone to call her. And then you try to be cute and sneak diss her by saying, well, after they saw her whatever card, they wanted her to audition. Yeah, you were trying to be funny. You were trying to be shady. You were trying to be messy. And Heather pulled your card. She called you to the table. So I kind of believe you walked yourself into that. You set yourself up for that because you started poking her first. Heather was not thinking about you. You were hoping Heather would come along with you. And you presented it under the guise that you wanted tips and you wanted guidance and a little bit of coaching and how you respected Heather's career in the industry, yada, yada, whatever. All that fake and phony shit that they do in the OC. And it backfired because Heather had time. And girl, I cannot wait to see how this plays out next episode. Now, Heather. Girl, you are snooty. But y'all, it comes with the territory. I mean, what do you expect? Now, Heather's snootiness is well above me. It's out of my tax bracket. It's out of my zip code, my area code. It's out of my code. All of that. But you know what? It is what it is. But my problem with these ladies attempting to go against Heather, like I said, I'm only on episode 3 or 4. Gina, you were all up her hiney last season. You were throwing everybody under the bus so that you could get next to Heather Dubrow, so that Heather Dubrow could become your friend, so that you could be seated next to Heather Dubrow. You could have access to the likes of a Heather Dubrow, have access to her private parties, her da-da-da-da-da. You were all things Heather, which is why I say Gina gotta go. I cannot stand a jealous, mean-spirited, insecure ass woman because they flip-flop like a light switch. You never know where they're going to land. And they mean nobody any good, you know? So my thing is, y'all already know what time it is when y'all are dealing with Heather. Heather, you are pretty snooty. You do interrupt a lot. But y'all, it was so funny when Heather got bored. Because both Heather likes attention and so does Tamra. But look, when Emily was giving Tamra a compliment about, yeah, I understand that your business is closing. And Heather interrupted and said, is there not a penthouse? I laughed so hard. And then her and Tamra had a standoff. Heather was over that dry ass conversation. But Heather, you're going to have to kind of, I don't know, table it, check it, be a little bit more respectful and not throw around your power and your status when it comes to other women. You're going to have to respect their conversations when they are talking. But I was laughing. It's funny to me. But I have a question because Heather, I find it really funny all of a sudden that you've taken Shannon Beador underneath your wing. You're hanging out with her when you literally threatened to shut her down legally last season. So my question is, what's changed? What has given you the change of heart that now you and Terry are all of a sudden buddy with the likes of a Shannon Beador? Shannon is not one of the typical women you would run with. So is it because you got backlash from the way you treated Shannon And Heather's savvy now. Heather's so savvy. She knows how to make nice. She plays well in the sandbox. So is that what we're doing, Heather? Because if so, I need you to call it. I can be respectful of that. So why are you buddy-buddy with Shannon now? Is it because you made an ass out of yourself and you're needing to gain or garnish public favor? I don't know. I find it funny because you were not feeling Shannon at all last season.